Hello, welcome everybody. It's great to see you guys today. I'm really excited to be here on day 2 of the AE scripts and AE plugins summer sale. And we are here on Instagram today. We're here on YouTube. So wherever you're watching, it's really nice to have you. My name is Ryan Selvy. I'm a motion designer, graphic designer, illustrator that loves to live stream, and I work with Lloyd, the creator of AE Scripts, to do these live streams when there is a good sale going on. And this kicks off the beginning of the summer sales, which is a amazing time to pick up lots of plugins and scripts for your programs. And it actually has something where we can go up to 30% off once you hit a certain threshold, but it even just starts with even 20% off with a bunch of selected authors. I'm going to go ahead and actually bring in Lloyd, and so he can kind of introduce the site, he can introduce what's going on, and we can talk a little bit more about the sales that are coming up. So welcome, Lloyd. How's it going?
Great, man. It's good to be back, and sorry everybody about the problems yesterday, but today we promised to make up for it. And yeah, thanks again, Ryan. These live streams are awesome. It really is a great opportunity for all of us to get to see each other a little bit in this virtual world. And yeah, we're doing these for the sales because really it's a good time to get excited about stuff. This summer sale, we're actually trying something new, like you said. This discounts on the participating products is 20% to start, but then if you spend $100, and so the products that are on sale are all listed in the sale tab on the homepage, and so any product that is on sale is what gets the discount. So if you start with 20%, but any product, even products that are not on sale, count towards the spending goals. So if you spend $100 on 5 products and only one of them is on sale, the product that's on sale then gets 25% off. And if you spend $250, then you get 30% off on all the products that are on sale. So I know it's a little bit more to mentally process, and some people have been confused, but we think all of our customers are very smart people, so we're hoping that they're going to get it. And it's also a bit of a gamified kind of thing. So,
Yeah, and
but if you have any problems, yeah, go
there's
ahead.
a bunch of participating authors. So right here we already have just the list of all the ones that are participating in week 1, and so these are the guys that you'll be able to get the discounts off of as you increase your spending and as you increase. But even without that, just from the baseline, 20%, is really great. So yeah, it's a exciting new approach. I like it because I mean, if you're anything like me and you go and you end up kind of just racking up the shopping cart anyway, then it's always nice to be able to get a little bit of reward for a little bit more love.
Yeah, for sure.
So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over actually like a category of sorts of different plugins that are available for this week 1. And today we really want to focus on your workflow and how you organize your files and you organize the way that you approach creating your motion graphic products. And so we're going to be highlighting a few. You can access actually all of these products, and you can check out what's on sale all through just aescripts.com. And then it'll bring you straight to the sales. You'll be able to actually go up to the top in that green bar, and you can even just see the direct list of things as well if you'd like. But from the beginning, just going and popping in, you'll be able to see the shop the sale, and then you can even look towards the future and see what's coming up later this summer. But right now, all in this purple is everything that you can save on between the 16th and the 20th, which is going on right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit cropped off on the Instagram, but just go to the website and click on the banner there that says "See details."
Yeah, and also speaking of Instagram, welcome to or maybe it's Gas T Rodriguez. That's what it is. It's not Gastro. Over on Instagram, it's good to see you. And hello to Truth Magnet on YouTube. Thank you guys for popping in and saying hello in the chat. If you guys have questions or comments as we go through these products, please by all means say something, and we'll answer the best of our ability. And Truth Magnet wants to know they have GeoLayers 2. Is the upgrade qualified for a discount?
No, the summer sale is not doesn't include upgrades. It's just for new licenses. The upgrade, by the way, is already very deeply discounted, so you already get a very deep discount anytime when you want to upgrade.
Yeah, and that goes for a lot of different plugins that you have available on the site. Is once you download it and add it, a lot of the updates are actually normally free, and the developers are really cool about kind of offering that as continual updates. But in the event that there is a significant update, sometimes there is an upgrade, but when you already have something old, that upgrade gets a discounted upgrade fee for those who already have the previous version.
Well, it's actually very simple. You have what we call minor upgrades. So if it's like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, that's a minor upgrade. Those are always free. And if it's a major upgrade, so instead of version from version 1.0 to version 2.0, or from version 2 to 3 or something like that, that's what we call major upgrades. And those are paid upgrades, but there's always a discount. And of course, this is the alternative to having subscriptions. So we can't, it's not sustainable to just sell the software and then for many, many years continually update it without any more, revenue. So we really, really try to make things as affordable as possible. We are users ourselves, and one of the main goals of the site is to treat every customer like we would expect it to be treated ourselves. And that goes with how we deal with upgrades and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Working free, so gotta respect it, and a big respect to all the developers. We'll have some on tomorrow and Friday. We're gonna be streaming both on Wednesday and Friday at the same time, same places, both Instagram and YouTube. Hello to Lucia from Brazil over on Instagram, and hey to Carl over on YouTube. Thanks for being here, guys. Let's hop into our first one. The first one is one that's very dear to Lloyd, I know, and it's because he has had a big part of the development and the spreading of the software itself. But let's check out AE Viewer. So here's a little preview.
Is browsing through your media files a pain? Meet your new hero, AE Viewer, the best and fastest way to preview and import files directly in After Effects, where you can navigate all your files, create collections, install packages, and find everything instantly. And it's free. And if you want more, with the Pro version, you can customize your import options, create an expressions library, build your packages, and have a Premiere Pro version. Amazing, right? Get your copy at aescripts.com/AEviewer.
All right, and the cool thing about AE Viewer is that it's both available as a free version and as a paid version. And I think that something that we'll probably talk a lot about today and in the coming days is accessibility to all different skill types and all different levels of design and making things affordable. I know that the website is affordable year-round, and obviously sales are here just kind of as a added incentive. But it's especially nice when there are these things like AE Viewer and AE Viewer Pro, where you can kind of try it out, use it for free, and then if you want additional features, then you can then bring it on to this next one.
Yeah, and you know, you say this one is dear to my heart. I mean, I just want to say that everything on the site is actually dear to my heart because we're a very curated site, so everything that goes on the site has to be approved and curated, and we turn down a lot of tools all the time. So I think that the reason AE Viewer stands out is because we felt that it was such a lacking feature in After Effects and Premiere Pro. Adobe Bridge, we find, is not an acceptable media browser for a current workable sort of kind of situation. And we had a viewer, which was always a paid version. And so I was speaking with Alex, the developer, and saying, God, it's just such a shame that something like this awesome isn't default with After Effects and Premiere. And so we thought, okay, why don't we split up the product? And what we did is we made the core features that like 90% of users are going to need. All of them are free on both After Effects and Premiere. The 10% of features that you get in Pro are aimed very specifically at people like template authors and people who are going to monetize and therefore get revenue. So you can do things like encrypt template After Effects templates. You can you can do some like really sort of template created specific tasks that are impossible to do otherwise. And so that's kind of like the difference. But the key takeaway is that the free version is a full featured media browser that's super fast and it's super awesome. And every user must use it. So if you haven't tried it yet, please go and download it now. You will not regret it, I promise.
Yeah, and just to kind of show off a little bit of how it works. It's a really great media library tool, and it's a really great way of just being able to have all your assets easily accessible. You can see right off of the aescripts.com/AEviewer. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in both the Instagram and the YouTube links for you guys if you guys want to click into it. But you can see even on the product page, it helps you create tabs with collections. You can have support for many different file formats, all the way from your JPEGs and your PNGs, but you can also kind of expand beyond that and include your videos, your Adobe products, your vector layers, you name it. There's even support for your typefaces, which is really cool. And that way you can really build out a library and have some organization so that you don't feel like everything is just kind of scattered across your Explorer and you have to navigate these crazy folders. Now, I know that you can do packages here and how that automatically updates. Do you kind of want to talk a little bit about that, Lloyd?
Yeah, so these are the packages that that are really great for template authors. So, for example, but you can actually also use them yourself. So, if you have a collection of animated GIFs or sound effects or textures, you can use AE Viewer to create these packs that puts him into like I guess I should really emphasize the speed. What really sets a viewer apart is how fast you can preview and browse media. So if you have a ton of like QuickTime movies that you need to like browse, you know how tedious that can be to do it in both Adobe Bridge or even the what do you call it, the file system, the desktop or Explorer.
Yeah, and I will say that one of the big selling points too is just the instant search and the navigation properties of just being able to go and having that real time pop up when you're looking for something through your files and your bins. Whereas if you're using your Explorer or you're using something else, it a lot of times takes a lot of time to buffer and it takes time to really kind of look through your whole system. You're like, I don't want to look through my whole system. I just want to look through this folder.
And it also includes comps and timelines. So that's another thing you can't even see at all in the Explorer. So you can actually create, for every comp, After Effects comp or every After Effects project, you can create an animated preview so that when you're browsing, and this is also what template authors can do, they create a lot of like comps that do different things. In a viewer, you can see like an animated preview thumbnail of every one of these comps. So you can go straight to the comp you need and apply it. And it can even, for example, apply just one comp from a project. So you don't actually have to open a project, find a comp, and do it. You can actually open a specific comp or import a specific comp from one project into your current project. It is super powerful.
Which you have chastised me for in the past for my use of bringing in lots of other layers and project files, which slows down your render times and slows down your processing time.
And it's just an organizational nightmare, which, by the way, should lead us to another product that's on sale right now, which is Declutter. So if you do have that situation, you can just declutter to quickly organize and declutter your project.
All right, let's check it out.
Did you receive a messy project? Or just too lazy to organize your assets? We've all been there. Introducing Declutter, an extension to help you organize your assets in folders, create your own folder structures, and edit them to suit your needs. Stop working in the chaos. Declutter your project.
Declutter. I wish I could force a lot of clients that I work with to use Declutter. Because I can do it on my end, but I can't make everybody that I work with always use it. But it's got some really cool features that we can walk through. I mean, one of the big things is obviously renaming and being able to approach something that is already a mess and cleaning it up. It's not even like it's something you have to use from the beginning with file structures. It actually already has some that are baked into it. But you also have a lot of control where you can sort your assets by type, and you can really make it your own while still feeling like it's doing the structure for you.
That's actually what sets Declutter apart, because there actually are a ton of project cleanup tools, but what sets Declutter apart is it is fully customizable. You can set up tokens for anything that you would like for your specific workflow, so you can have it organize your project exactly like you like to have it organized. And so it has a very intuitive, easy to use UI. It's a CEP panel, so it's all drag and drop and super, super sweet. So highly recommend.
Folder structure, which obviously can get really messy in After Effects very quickly.
Absolutely.
Because then you have the ones that it's like a folder within a folder, but then you think that you dragged it out of there, but you didn't. So being able to also manipulate the actual like chronological sections is also super helpful. Just like, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, on the subject still of Declutter, if you guys don't follow Ryan Summers on Twitter, his tag is at Oddernod, ODDERNOD, or you can also just go to our Twitter. We just retweeted it, but he just put out his list of his favorite tools that are on sale this week. He's one of the creative directors at School of Motion. So, and he's been a creative director in the business for many years at really high-end firms. So this guy knows what he's talking about, and he recommended Declutter. So if you don't want to take my word for it, take Ryan's word for it.
Yeah, I'm also putting both the links to both Declutter and Otter Nod's Twitter
There you go.
in both
Yeah.
the YouTube and the Instagram chat. So make sure you guys go and click that.
And you should follow Ryan, not just because he's promoting our products right now, but because Ryan is very generous with advice. He gives out tons of free advice all the time. He's like such an amazing person to have in the community. It's exactly the spirit of why our community is awesome. There's a lot of sharing and free transfer of knowledge, and he is really much at the top of it. So give him a follow for sure.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of really great motion designers out there that are normally putting in their 2 cents about what's great to pull up the plugins. I was talking to Lloyd right before we had the stream this week, and I was talking about Flow, which we'll be talking about later in the week. But Ben Marriott is also another active YouTuber, and he has some pretty good ones that he breaks down. And he loves to go through different AE scripts and AE plugins. So if you don't take our word for these things, obviously Lloyd, like he said, does a lot of curation, and it does take a bit of quality to be even listed on the site. So if you're getting something from the site, you can be confident that it's going to be a good purchase. But even beyond that, there's some really great resources out there on both YouTube and Twitter. School of Motion, as Lloyd was mentioning, is a great collective of really, really, really powerful artists for both teaching and learning, and then also just people with 2 cents. But make sure you check those out as well. And yeah, there's a lot of products that also have some of the reviews from people like E.C. Abrams, just right there when you're going and you're purchasing. So make sure you check out the product pages, and you also do your research. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and it's fun to just kind of click through and see the things that might interest you and be the best for your workflow.
And speaking of Flow, the Ben Marriott recommendation that you just gave, I'll tell you, Ryan also recommended it, and his description is pretty good. He's like, mandatory install on any machine I work on. It takes a frustrating UX with an AE and makes it a joy to work with. So there you go.
Check out. All right, so since we've just did declutter, I think another really good one that kind of goes hand in hand with that would be Fast Renamer, which I want to also go ahead and we'll run the promo for that.
Tired of files with unnamed layers? Of all the time wasted looking for what is path duplicate 32 and the hours spent renaming them?
Well, not anymore.
With Fast Renamer, rename all your layers in a few clicks. Select your layer, then simply click on the name you want to associate to it. Use our button lists, or create your own to satisfy all your needs.
You can live in a world where all files are always perfectly named. Download and share Fast Renamer.
Cool thing about Fast Renamer is not the fact that it works with being able to just quickly do a lot of the base essentials. Like they have a little doll that you can use that has a figure. There's a thing for hands, body, and shapes. But you can also go in and you can create your own structure of something that you want to rename. And you can see it down here on the list. You can go and let's say that you're creating the mechanics of a car, and you know that all these things are going to exist within a car. You can go and you can put your base structure in, and then as you go and you click through, you can then update your file. And not only After Effects, because we know that when you're creating motion graphics with like something like After Effects, most of the project begins in Photoshop or Illustrator. So it actually has support for all three of those programs, and you can go in and let's say that you're working with engine parts and you need to name all the different layers. You can just put in that you have a carburetor, and then you can click all the two, and it'll automatically update all the layers accordingly as you go. So it's a really powerful tool. Once again, it's a lot of organization and workflow, but as soon as you use it, it'll really speed things up.
And this is one of those workflow tools, right? So you can manually go in and rename all your layers, but that is just so tedious, and it takes you away from what you really want to do, which is doing character animation. So Fast Renamer is just a perfect example of a tool that just takes what would normally be a long, tedious process into a quick and easy one. And so you can get back to what it is that you want to do. And on the subject of good workflow tools for character animation, we just released a new one called Sticky Web. It's not part of the sale, but you should definitely check it out if you're into character animation. STICKY-WEB, so Sticky Web. And it lets you draw the parent structure. So instead of like twirl parenting each layer, so like parenting the hand to the forearm and the forearm to whatever, you can just draw lines how you want it to be parented, and then one click it'll parent your entire character. So
wow, well,
super cool. Yeah.
When's the last time you did any character animating yourself, Lloyd?
Yes, it's been a minute.
I feel like if you were to go back into it now, you'd be like, it's too easy for the kids these days.
It definitely is.
I struggled.
Well, this is why, I mean, and you keep saying I created it. aescripts has been a community effort. There's been so many contributors to it. All I did was just start the first thing, but it is a community effort, and all of the tools are being contributed by tons of authors. And it's exactly that. It's a lot of tools that were created because artists were trying to do certain things that were frustrating, and then they created a tool to make that task easier. And so we have tons of tools that do that.
And that's something that we also wanted to bring up too. And you kind of were getting about that when you're talking about this fast renamer, is that a lot of these tools are things that exist that just speed up your process, and they are not things that you necessarily can't do without them. And it's kind of important to remember that as well, because just as someone who's designing, it's good to also just know that you could do this on your own. You don't want to use it too much like a crutch, but it could be the difference between hours of work and literally under 30 minutes of work, which sounds like an exaggeration, but it can really go far. And just being able to take that and I mean, most of these, like the fast renamer is only $15, and so if you think about like taking that, and time is money, you just kind of reassociate that with the time that you're saving that you otherwise be able to then contribute to your product and move on to something else, and not have to manually go through and click each layer and just change all of the different layers. Then it just makes things so much easier.
And client revisions too. If you actually are very good about setting up your project and having it into a sort of more of an automated structure, we'll say, or a rig, then when a customer comes back and says, you know, how I need to change this one thing, if you have it all rigged well, then making those changes is pretty easy, and that will also make you more money, because the client doesn't know that you can make the change fast, right? So you say, oh yeah, well, that's going to be 2 days worth of work, and then it takes you 1 hour to do it, and there you go. You just it paid for itself many times over.
Love that. You know, work smarter, not harder. Is always the way to go. Speaking of which, also kind of in a similar way of things that are very easily accessible by not having a plugin, but is nicer to have just for convenience sake, I think is one that I really like, which is called Match Comp Duration. So let's check that out.
Hi, this is Daniel from Salt Media, and this is a quick tutorial on Match Comp Duration. Match Comp Duration lets you quickly change the duration of the selected layers. In particular, it's helpful for compositions that have nested compositions inside them, such as this example. Has quite a few nested pre-comps inside. To change all of those durations manually takes quite a long time. Let's pretend that we've got to extend this main comp out to 10 seconds. You can see now all of these compositions don't match. With Match Comp Duration, we can simply click Match Comp Duration, and that'll be extended out to fit. We can also match the current time indicator duration. And there's the option to include or not include the nested layers inside the comps, and include or not include the locked layers. There's also the option to resize comps. Sometimes when you've imported a composition or Photoshop file, the comps don't match sizes, so we can fit that to the comp, fit it to the width or the height. For example, I'll change the duration of this comp to the current time indicator, and it's fit to the comp height. The last option here is to set a custom duration. So for example, we want to set 7 seconds and say 13 frames. We can select our layers. We'll include the nested layers, include the lock layers, and you'll see this is changed to match custom duration. Click that, and they'll go exactly to 7 seconds, 13 frames. This won't change the position in time of layers, and that's to avoid messing up any animation timing or keyframes. It won't delete any keyframes or create any new frames. So for example, if we set this to 5 seconds, and we'll just do 500 for 5 seconds, we'll go match custom duration. These layers have been set to 5 seconds, but they haven't been moved. So that's match comp duration. I hope you find it helpful.
Welcome back, guys. Yeah, so that's match comp duration. Michael Believy asked what plugin we were just looking at right before this, and that was Fast Renamer. I went ahead and threw that link in just one more time for you guys' convenience. But then we just checked out match comp duration by Salt Media, which is also only $15. So I'm going to go ahead and put that as well into both of the chats. But as you guys can see, similar one, like I said, you can do this all on your own, but it speeds things up incredibly, and dealing with new comps and pre-comps and the idea of durations is such a funny and annoying fix when you're going and then something disappears on your timeline and you're like, why did that disappear? Then you open up the pre-comp and then you realize that, you know, it had been shortened or messed around, and so this is just something for a little bit of ease of mind. And then we also have something for multi-replacer, which is another one that I think is a really great approach to speeding things up. This is an extremely tedious task that people have to do, and that's, let's say if you have like a grid of something and you want to go in and change out all the pictures of a grid, or you want to like create a template of sorts, and then you want to be able to just add that over and over again. You can use multi-replacer, and it will speed up everything up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play that promo as well.
Hi, welcome to Multi-Replacer video tutorial. Multi-Replacer is a script designed to replace multiple images quickly. For example, you have a screen wall or a slideshow, and let's say you wish to replace images with one click. So to do that, you'll have to select the images and open Multi-Replacer. There are 3 ways to perform the action. Select the images, mark Do Not Scale, and press Replace Images. Choose the images you want and press OK. As you can see, when this option is selected, the script replaces the images but leaves their scales untouched. Now select the Fit to Comp/Footage option. Choose the images and press OK. When this option is marked, the script replaces the images and adjusts their scales. And when the Smart Scale option is marked, the script adjusts the scale of images, but doesn't stretch them. Now let's insert those images into compositions. Select Comps in the project panel, mark the option you want, and press Insert into Comps. Great! Check out the result. If your images are already inside the project and you don't need to drag them in, you can just use Replace from Project function. Now let's just open a ready-made project and see how easy it is in actuality. It only takes one click to insert all your images into compositions. All you have to do is select compositions in the project panel and press Insert into Comps button. It's that simple. And that's it. Well, that's all for now, guys. I hope you found this tutorial to be useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
So the thing that I really like about Multi-Replacer is the fact that, and I know I keep bringing up things that you can already do from within the interface. And I recently actually learned that you could go and you could take a source from your project, and hold down Alt, and you click it, and you can replace it. But the thing that you run into there is you don't really have a lot of control over how it's going to interact with it and how it's going to really populate the space that you're replacing the thing with, especially if the source materials are two separate dimensions. And that's something.
And you have to do them one at a time.
One at a time. Click through one by one.
Yeah.
And then even on top of that, with compositions as well, too, being able to go in and having that have a nested experience is a really big change. And also sometimes you won't even necessarily know how you want it to work, but you can do trial and error, and you can kind of switch between and see if you want to do it for fit to object, or fit to screen. And it helps speed things up a lot for you.
This is actually used commonly with template projects. So if you bought a template project that has like a photo slideshow or something like that, where you have like hundreds of photos that need to be inserted into the animated template, this tool can make it a one-click process, whereas otherwise you would have to do it all manually. So, and even if you created a project, for your own purposes that is meant to be dynamic and being used with lots of different sources, this tool can help you to do that.
Over on Instagram, LD is asking if this tutorial is available on YouTube. Yes, it will be on YouTube, but actually on all of the product pages that you have on aescripts, there is a usability for all the
just go to the product page. Yeah,
just go to the product page, and it should walk you through how to use everything.
The tutorial video is embedded in the product page.
Oh, and the tutorial video as well. Just because then you'll be able to be familiar with it, and a lot of them you can pick up and kind of figure out on your own. But the pure strength of a lot of these are really rooted in the idea of the love that the developers put into them, and there's lots of small tweaks and small settings that you can change to really get the most out of them. So whenever you are exploring getting one of the plugins, make sure you check out everything that they have to offer, and just make sure that you learn the nuances of every product. So I know that those are the big ones that we want to touch on for productivity, but I know that something that's come up a few times in the past is the idea of version control with your products, and also wanting to make sure that you can get all the upgrades once you buy the product. If you are to go and you buy something on sale today, and it then is later updated to a 0.1 upgrade or 0.2 upgrade, as Lloyd was saying, those then are normally reflected as free upgrades through the site. And aescripts.com has a really great plugin that lets you go and it just pulls up all of the things that you already have automatically installed. So if you've never installed a what is it, a ZXP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ZXP.
You've never installed it, don't freak out. Don't worry, it's super easy. There's also this really wonderful manager that lets you go through, and you can go and you can just select everything. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick.
And you're referring to our manager app, and it's not just for ZXPs. Basically, you just download this app, and then installs and licenses all of your products that you purchased from us. That's pretty awesome. And then if you allow desktop notifications, whenever there's an update, you would get a desktop notification saying, you know, Plexus has an update. Would you like to update it? In just one click, and it'll update automatically.
And of course, it also lets you know whenever there is a wonderful sale going on. It'll have a little banner across the top that lets you know that there's the summer sales going on. So this is the first week of sales. There's going to be 3 more after this, which is exciting. And I'm going to get my screen to show up. I also don't know if you can hear my cat, because my cat is freaking out, which is exciting. But this is the first of 4 weeks. That said, it is going to be a cycling experience. So the things that are on sale right now will stop being on sale after the 20th, and then there will be a new set of sales. So make sure that you go and you want to check out the things that are on sale for this week in particular.
Yeah, just go to aescripts.com, and then at the top there's a green banner that says the sale is going on, and there's a little link that says click for details. Click there and you can see all the details.
And then I just want to show you guys, as we were talking about the wonderful updating program, I'll go ahead and just put it up right here. You can see that I have a bunch of plugins here, and
I don't think we could, oh, there it is. Cool.
And you can see that I have a few ones that I need to update, so I can just literally go in and I can just click on over here, and it'll just have it so that I can click install, and it'll update accordingly.
And you can select more than one at a time, by the way. That's the key feature. You could select
one of the key features, many key features. Deep Glow, people give me a hard time because it is like one of my absolute favorite. I use it in almost every project that I can do, which I don't think it's on sale this time, but it has been on sale in the past, and I don't know if it'll be a sale feature. I know Bow is...
Deep Glow is definitely going to be on sale in one of the coming weeks.
And you guys can see I just have a big old gallery worth of ones that I like to use.
And Bow plugins are on sale right now.
Yeah, Bow plugins are on sale right now, and Bow, they're definitely ones that you have to learn kind of their nuances and how they work. But I know that actually, if you guys want to check out the YouTube page of aescripts, recently just posted a really cool tutorial on 2.5 dimension looks using Bow tools. So that's also another really cool thing, is the constant update and support that the aescripts YouTube channel has to go and teach you new things about the plugins that you have.
It's a new tutorial, yeah. We are always posting tutorials on how to use our tools.
So if you don't already, make sure you guys follow them on YouTube. Also, Carl wants to know if you can add a tab in there to show Apple Silicon support. Yes, because Apple has been throwing a wrench in the machine again as far as compatibility and support, but it seems like a lot of it is starting to get really ironed out, especially as they're updating updating their new products. And you know, the M1 I feel like was giving people a lot of hard times, but I think do they have the M2 now? I think that
no, it's just Apple Silicon. They basically switched away from using Intel chips, which cause everything has to be recompiled basically. And the previous version of After Effects supported Rosetta, which is Apple's emulation mode of the Intel chip, and then the most recent version of After Effects, they got rid of Rosetta support. So if the plugin has not been specifically compiled for Apple Silicon chips, it just won't show up at all. So if you have a case where your plugin just doesn't show up at all in the list, even though it's installed, that's most likely the reason. And the easiest fix is usually just go download the latest version. We have been furiously working on updating all plugins to be Apple Silicon compatible, but of course this is a big project, and it's been an ongoing thing, but we are definitely making great progress. And I would say most of the all the very popular plugins are definitely already updated, but we're working on updating all of them. And so, yeah, I know having a tab that which ones is updated is it would be handy, but we would prefer to just have them all updated, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, going as fast as possible, just because it's a constantly moving target, and everything keep updating. I see that in the Instagram chat, Michael's asking about a character rig when you join the live stream, but didn't get to see the name, please. Everything that we've gone over today, we will be sure to put in the YouTube description. But so far, we've gone over AE Viewer, which is a media library. We went over Declutter, which helps bring down the file and complexity of your motion projects. We did Fast Renamer, which is what you might be thinking of. It's not as much of a character rig as much as it is being able to label things for your characters. We've had Match Comp Duration, which matches the duration of your comps so that it is organized more. And then finally we had Multi-Replacer, which helps create a automatic update for multiple items like a template with a grid. And you can go and you can switch out all of the source files and change how they interact.
You can also use that for character, by the way. For example, if your character has like different textures or something and you want to replace all of the textures with new textures, Multi-Replacer would be handy for that. That's kind of one of the cool things about After Effects is that it is a very modular tool. So the fact that After Effects gets used for so many different things, they are like dedicated character animation programs. So a lot of people get frustrated with like, oh, After Effects is so complicated. But what makes After Effects awesome is that it is so sort of flexible that you can use it for almost anything. And that's why we produce tools that make that workflow not as annoying as it should be, or it would be otherwise.
And we have a few minutes left, but I do want to kind of turn it over to the audience as well and see if there's any specific plugins that you guys have seen on the week of sales for this week, and if you guys have any questions about them, anything that we can provide. I know later this week we'll be having Pencil Park, Naturalwork Studios, Steve Lewis, Animatable, and Data Clay on the show. If you guys have not already marked it on your calendars, make sure you're here tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern again, and Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be having some of the developers on to talk about their experiences and their products. But we would love to help you guys out with anything that you have questions about, or if there's anything that you haven't, bit the bullet for yet, and are looking for that last push to get you there, to get you to try something out. Of course, with any of these, you can go in and you can always try them first, which is great. Just go ahead, go to a product page, and hit the try button. It'll give you a trial download. You can try things out for the most of their feature. Most times it's just a watermark so that you can still get the full experience of the plugin before then going and purchasing it. And then that is actually also available within the manager that we were just showing with licenses and updates. You can go in and you can also apply your trials to it so that you can easily manage it and not get so cluttered.
I have a trivia question for you, Ryan. This is a bit of a nerdy developer question, but what does my T-shirt say?
Oh God.
Well,
is that? I'm guessing it has something to do with hip hip hooray, right?
It's hip hip array. So these brackets is how you do an array notation. So it's an array, hip hip array.
Boo. Did you just get that shirt? That's great.
It's my favorite programmer shirt.
Yeah, when are we getting AE script swag?
We had shirts a while ago, and I got to tell you, we are a website that deals with all digital downloads, and I had no idea what a nightmare it is to ship physical products.
Oh,
so
no
we
doubt.
did that one time and learned our lesson that we are better at digital delivery. I mean, we're talking about lost packages, customs. Yeah, no thanks. So yeah, I think what we might do is maybe do some designs and let people order them on a different website that handles everything. But
yeah,
we definitely did do our own printing and distribution, and that was not a good fit for us.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Hello to Zadi over on Instagram, as well as Amr Chaha and ilkerulus.eth. I know that you guys for April Fool's Day did a very funny video of NFTs. And I see someone says NFT alpha question mark. That's not coming to fruition. I assume development has been halted on that. But if you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you guys check out the
it's aescripts.com/NFT. We invented our own NFT, which is pretty awesome.
Your April Fool's Days are actually always pretty funny.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ryan. These are all very real products that we are working very hard to do.
Like the chip in your brain.
We're
How's that going? How's your brain going?
We never joke. We take our work very seriously.
Great. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play the promotion for the week so you guys can check it out and just see the beautiful work that was done by, and I am blanking on the name. It was Duo Team, right?
Yeah,
Duo Team. Which you guys should definitely check out their stuff. They're incredible. They were great to work with. They did the promotional stuff, and I got to reach out with them and mess with their assets. And I was just like, oh, can I get this on an alpha and this animated? And they've been absolutely wonderful, and they're so powerful as far as the things that they can create. So make sure you check it out. But yeah, do you have any last words before we hop off, Lloyd?
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Be here on YouTube. Michael's asking for a detailed tutorial on bow bones because I couldn't find that from the popular sources available. Make sure you check those YouTube pages, and then also make sure you check the tutorial pages. Bow,
there should be a tutorial on the product page, but if not, you can always open if you ever have a question. By the way, this is a good point. Just open a support ticket. Just go to aescripts.com/contact, and if you don't find the answer in an FAQ, you can just click on the link that says "Please open a support ticket," and you can ask any question. If you select the product that you have a question about, that support ticket will go directly to the developer, so they will give you an answer themselves.
And I can actually go ahead and I can even show you guys kind of what that looks like really quick. You can see here you got the support page. This is aescripts.com/support. You can also access anything from going up here and going to contact. And you'll be able
it's
to
/contact, not /support. Just go to aescripts. It's aescripts.com/contact. If you go to the support page, you see all the options, which is also like the forums and other stuff. But if you want to open a ticket, go to contact.
Great. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I'm so glad we got this up and running today. This is our first time streaming on Instagram, and so it's really great to see you guys here. Let us know what you guys think about it. A big thank you to Carl and Abbas, MD, over on YouTube, as well as Rachel. Also, if you guys have any questions for upcoming streams, please do not hesitate to reach out. We really want to make sure that this is a useful experience for you guys and isn't just like a HSN experience. That's something that Lloyd definitely mentioned when we were approaching the first live streams. We want this to feel as authentic as our intentions are for it, and just really want to show you kind of what there is to offer and help you get the best deals possible on things that can really increase your caliber of skill sets and tools at your hands.
What does HSN stand for?
Home Shopping Network.
Oh.
I'm not trying to be what's her name?
Pitchman.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a pitchman for you guys. I don't want to sell you a vacuum door-to-door salesman. That's not what we're looking for. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And talk soon.
Ciao.